It's 3:30 a.m. and I'm about to start my 5th year working this night shift. It's a lot of hours sitting here staring at these four walls thinking the same thoughts over and over again. And it makes me wonder, why have I been doing this for so long? I had the opportunity to get out several times, but I chose to stay. It wasn't until recently that I realized why I was still there after all this time. After all, I've been doing the same thing day in and day out for half a decade now, and I think it's because I'm scared to take a risk and fail. What if I told you could double your income, work less than 10 hours a week, never have to go to an office again, and get more time with your family? You would probably assume I'm selling something, or maybe you'd say I'm full of shit. But the truth is, there are many ways to do this, and most people just don't know them. You see, we're taught to believe that to be successful, you need to follow a very specific formula. Go to school, do well, go to college, get good grades, get a high-paying job, buy a house, get married, have kids, and repeat the process. Most people follow this formula without ever stopping to ask if it's even the right one. We just do it because that's what society tells us to do. And then when we finally get to the end of the race, we look around and realize that none of it was worth it. We traded our youth, our happiness, and our freedom for a pile of bills and responsibilities. And then we spend the rest of our lives trying to get those things back. But the problem is that once you've given up your youth, happiness, and freedom, it's too late. You can't get them back no matter how much money you have. So why do we keep following this path that leads nowhere? The answer is simple. We're scared. Scared to take a risk and fail. Scared to disappoint our parents and loved ones. Scared to be alone or die poor. So we play it safe. But sometimes playing it safe is the biggest risk of all. You see, life is too short to do something that you hate. Life is too short to waste chasing someone else's dream. And life is definitely too short to live by someone else's rules. In today's world, it's extremely hard to do what you love and make a living from it. If you want to play it safe, you'll get a 9-to-5 job, collect a paycheck every 2 weeks, and live your life. But if you want to chase your dreams, you'll have to take risks and face rejection along the way. There will be times in your life when you feel like you're not making progress. No matter how hard you work, it seems like you're still in the same place. And that's where most people quit. They give up on their dreams and settle for a life of mediocrity. They say if you do what you love, you'll never have to work a day in your life. But the truth is, you're going to have to work hard no matter what you do. So why not do it chasing your dreams instead of someone else's? When I was younger, I used to think that success was all about money. I mean, who doesn't want to make a lot of money? But as I got older, I started to realize that money wasn't everything. In fact, I started to think that money might be the root of all evil. Money can buy you a lot of things, but it can't buy you happiness, love, or respect. Money doesn't grow on trees, yet most people act like it does. They spend every waking hour trying to make more money, yet they're never satisfied. You see, money is just a tool that can be used for good or evil. It all depends on the person wielding it. I've seen people with millions of dollars who are miserable, and I've seen people with less than $1,000 who are happier than anyone I know. Now, I'm not saying that money isn't important. Of course it is. We need money to survive. But we also need love, happiness, and respect. These are all important parts of life. Many people put off being happy until they retire. They say that once they have enough money, then they'll be able to retire and finally start enjoying life. But by then, it might be too late. You see, life is unpredictable. You could be hit by a bus tomorrow, or find out you have a terminal illness. You could lose all your money in a matter of seconds, or have everything you own stolen. That's why it's important to enjoy life while you can. Don't wait until you're old and gray to start enjoying yourself. If you want to be happy, then be happy now. If you want to be successful, then go for it now. If you want to chase your dreams, then start chasing them now. Most people live their lives on autopilot. They wake up every morning, go to work, come home, and go to sleep. They do the same thing day in and day out for years. And before they know it, they're old and their life has passed them by. You don't want that to happen to you. Most people are afraid to leave their comfort zone. They like the safety and familiarity of their routine. It's easy to stick to what you know, but that's not how you grow. That's how you stay the same. If you want to achieve something great, then you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone and do things that scare you. For example, if you want to be financially successful, then you'll need to learn how to manage your money. You'll also need to take some risks and invest in order to grow your wealth. But most people are just too afraid to do that. They'd rather stay in their comfort zone and be financially stable than take the risk and become wealthy. You see, most people are taught to be afraid of failure. They're told that failure is bad and that you should always try to succeed. But the truth is that failure is good. Failure is how we learn and grow as human beings. If you never fail at anything, then you're not really trying. And if you're not trying, then you're not living. So embrace failure and use it to learn and grow. And here's the best part. The people who say that only losers fail are the same people who have failed the most in life. You see, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every successful person has failed many times before they achieve success. If you want to be successful, then you need to accept that failure is part of the process. And then you need to learn from your failures and keep moving forward. Most people are stuck in their comfort zone because they're afraid of what other people think. They're afraid of being judged or ridiculed for taking a risk and failing. But here's the thing. The only person whose opinion really matters is yours. You need to do what you think is right, regardless of what other people say. If you want to be successful, then you can't let other people's opinions hold you back. You need to focus on your goals and take the steps necessary to achieve them. You see, the world is full of risks. There is no such thing as a risk-free life. Every decision you make involves some level of risk. The question is, are you going to take the risk and pursue your dreams, or are you going to play it safe and live someone else's life? If you want to pursue your dreams, then you need to start taking risks. Start with small risks and work your way up. Take the risk and start that business you've been thinking about. Take the risk and talk to that girl or guy you've been wanting to approach. Take the risk and apply for that job you want. The worst that can happen is that you fail. And as I said before, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. So use failure as fuel to keep moving forward. I've been working this night shift for almost 5 years now, and I'm sick of it. I'm tired of the same routine and the same environment. I'm ready for a change, but I've been hesitating because I'm scared to take a risk and fail. What if I quit my job and start a business and it fails? Then what? I'll be back to square one. But then I thought about it and realized that I've already taken the biggest risk of my life. I've spent almost 5 years working a job I hate. I've sacrificed my youth, my happiness, and my freedom for a pile of bills and responsibilities. And now I'm too afraid to take a risk and try to change it. The answer is no. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to quit my job and start a business, and if it fails, I'll just pick myself up and start again. I'm not going to let fear control my life anymore. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe and check out my other content. Thanks for watching.